I love opera. The whole art form of it is so rock star badass to me. The reason why I got into it was because of the art form, where you have to sing, you've got to make your body make this noise that is carried and heard over a full orchestra to thousands of people unamplified. It doesn't get cooler than that in terms of getting your body to make a noise like that. And uh, that's why it's so exciting for me and meaningful for me to be able to get to the point, given everything that I've gone through as a singer and in my journey to find my voice and to learn this art form. That's why it's so exciting for me to be able to record my solo debut album.
Et j'étais une chose à toi. Carmen, je
When I was growing up, my family always had music playing. There was either pop music like Barry Manilow back in the day, or there was classical music. It didn't really matter. There was always something going on musical in our family. My mom plays the piano, and she used to play it a lot more. So she used to play, just sit at the piano for a while and just play some tunes. And my dad grew up singing a lot. He was in the Glee Club in college, and so he was always singing a tune. And we were the type of family, as corny as it seems, where we would all sit around the piano and we would go through books of music and harmonize and try to find different cool harmonizations and do that together. And that was like our idea of fun. So for me, I couldn't wait to play my first instrument. It was like the most exciting time of my life when I knew, okay, now's the time I get to pick my instrument. And I had, for a while, been thinking, okay, what do I want to play? And this is like elementary school. And when we were in sixth grade in middle school, that's when we got to choose our instrument. So I ultimately had decided on playing the trombone for one very specific reason, and it was to make that awesome slide sound where you go. I thought that was it. That was so cool. And I could also hit my brother in the back of the head if I wanted to too, which was funny. In high school, I also started playing around with other instruments. I did like woodwinds. I played a little bit of clarinet and some flute. Taught myself the saxophone, and all the while, though, still looking for that instrument. Trombone was great and everything, and it was fun, and I was good at it, but I kept searching. I was still looking. And when we got to the end of my sophomore year in high school, my dad got a promotion, and he got a new job. And so we moved to a new school district, and we went from this amazing band program where it was really about being competitive and being awesome and all the kids were into it. It was thought of as being really cool, to a school district with a band program that was really kind of weak and no one was really into it. It was kind of like a blow-off class for kids. And when I got to school there, I had maybe a month left before the end of my sophomore year. And I was desperate to make friends and to meet girls and to just socialize. I thought band was going to be the place to do that, but there was nothing happening. And I saw down the hall, everybody, all the kids were going to choir. And I was thinking, choir? Ew. I mean, it's singing, you know? Any young instrumentalist will say, you know, or even if they don't admit it, they'll think it in the back of their minds, oh, singing's easy. That's just singing. You know, that's not being a real musician. Playing an instrument is really where it's at. So I'm sitting here going, man, I gotta make friends and meet people, and everybody's going to choir. So I had nothing to lose. I was kind of desperate, so I went. And I walked in, and I explained that I was interested in joining choir to the choir director. His name is Tim Lentz, and that guy changed my life. He was amazing. He said to me, okay, cool. Well, it's the end of the school year, so you can't be in choir right now, but you could probably be in it next year. So do you read music? And I was like, yeah, I'm an instrumentalist. Of course I can read music. And he was like, okay. And he gave me a piece of music and he said, read that. Can you sing it? And it totally blew my mind because I had never thought of reading music from an ear training perspective. And that was like the first introduction to that I had ever had, where, you know, usually with an instrument, you look at the music and this note equals this key or that valve or that slide position on the trombone. That's easy. This equals that. And you just do that and make the sound. And with this, though, with singing, I was like, how do you do that? How do I phonate that? And how do I know how to change from one note to the next note with, you know, and make it right? How do you do that? So I was fascinated and I was thinking, okay, all in that split second, I was like, there's more to this and I want to explore it. And so I told Mr. Lentz that I was really interested. And he said, okay, well, I direct the musicals during the summer. And if you'd like to be a part of the summer musical theater program, why don't you come audition? And he gave me the dates and the details. And I went away from that thinking, oh my God, musical theater? Like, huh? Really? I'd never sung in front of anybody in my life. I grew up loving movies. Like, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And so my buddy Mark and I, growing up, we would reenact all of the Star Wars scenes, and I could probably still recite all of the lines to all the movies. So I had a flair for the dramatic, but that was just like playing around and having fun. And I had never like acted in front of like an audience before, let alone sing in front of people. And so I thought about it. Summer had come. I really didn't make many friends yet. And so I thought, what the heck? I might as well try it. I took a chance. I showed up. And my only thought was, just don't make a fool of yourself. Just go. You're doing this to make friends and meet people. And just give it a shot. So the show was The Wizard of Oz. And I auditioned. And I actually got a part. I got cast as the Tin Man. And I had one of the best summers of my life. Because what I realized was I am a big ham and I love performing on stage. And I thought to myself, this is something completely new. And it encompasses so much of what I like about being in an ensemble. Because when I was playing band, when I was in band, I used to love being one part of the greater whole. And I remember that when I used to go to band camp, there's this awesome band camp called Blue Lake in Michigan. And it was like we would just immerse ourselves in just playing as a group and understanding how important it was to be one part of a bigger picture. And I had such a great time there. And I felt the same type of feeling in the musical, in The Wizard of Oz, because it wasn't just about one or two people. It was about everybody coming together. It was about props and set and costumes and orchestra and acting and makeup and all this different stuff, all wrapped into one. And that fascinated me, and I had such a great time. That was the beginning of me getting into singing. So I finished through the summer, and then I went to my junior year in high school and was in the choir. Had an incredible time, an incredible experience learning about singing, ear training, hearing notes before you can sing them. It's crazy. I'd never thought that way before. So I really loved that. And then from then on, I stopped playing instruments. It was crazy. I mean, I had no interest in learning any other instruments other than focusing on singing and performing. So I found what I was looking for, this thing that I had been searching for, this instrument. And what really, really intrigued me about it was the whole fact that your instrument is your body. How the heck do you look at the music and make the note? And then I started thinking, okay, so I love performing. I found that out about myself. I love being on stage. I love classical music. And I love singing. So I sat down, I thought about it. I thought, what art form, what type of singing should I get into? And truly, to really understand this instrument and to really master it, I thought, what better art form than opera? Because when you really think about it, it's so amazing. It's so cool. People get their bodies to make a sound that is heard over a full orchestra to thousands of people, unamplified. That's crazy when you think about it. That's insane. How do you get your instrument to do that? And so that was it. I realized that's what I wanted to do. And the next step was, how do I do that? Where do I go to do this?
Di bellezze